Logical evening, logical day to all of you. 1st of June. So, what we are going to do now is something new. Yes, for this week, we were trying with the root words. Yes, we'll continue with that, of course. But as I said earlier, start reading two articles from your from any other newspaper. That is something that you need to continue. Root words and new words we'll be doing again. And here we'll focus a little more on the phrases also now, right? How to use the sentences, how to use the phrases in the sentences. थोड़ा focus हम उस पे करेंगे अब से, जून से. Why? Because you need to now improve on your language. ये समझ में आना चाहिए अब धीरे धीरे. So, first editorial, break the silence. 1st June. Let's see what it is about. The reading part contains three of India's most successful wrestlers in a huddle at the banks of the Ganga in Haridwar Tuesday evening, wiping their tears and about to emerge their Olympics, Asian Games, and Commonwealth Games medals, protesting against alleged sexual harassment is not an image of a confident nation that cares for its finest. Fortunately, well wishers intervened and persuaded them to rethink their decision. Right? They intervened. You can understand this. What was going on? They were about to immerse all those medals, but then the well-wishers explained, कुछ भी उन्होंने रोका आराम से, and then patiently got them back and persuaded them to rethink. देखो ऐसा मत करो. The wrestlers suggested that they will go ahead with the plan if, in the next 5 days, the government refuses to respond to the demand for action against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, President of Wrestling Federation of India and the BJP MP. So Singh faces charges of sexual harassment, including under POCSO provisions. The 5-day window is a reprieve for the government. It must not stand on prestige. It needs to reach out to the wrestlers and convince them that justice will be theirs. So reprieve यानी एक राहत की सांस होनी चाहिए गवर्नमेंट के लिए. Otherwise, अगर ये लोग ऐसा कर ले तो it would not be a good sign for the image of India also. That is what he was saying, that it is not the image of a confident nation that cares for its finest. Right? So now if they have given a 5-day window, then the government should reach out to these people. ठीक है, उनसे वो रिस्पॉन्ड ही नहीं किया है अभी तक, गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ नहीं बोला है, तो उसे करना चाहिए अब. अकॉर्डिंग टू द ऑथर, रीच आउट टू द रेस्लर्स, कन्विंस देम दैट जस्टिस विल बी देयर्स. ठीक है, एंड दे मस्ट नॉट स्टैंड ऑन प्रेस्टीज, यानी ईगो को लेकर बात, ईगो पर बात नहीं ले लेनी चाहिए उन्हें, बिकॉज दीज आर रेस्लर्स, whatever they have come up with their demands, so they need to listen to that, right? And convince them that justice will be theirs, that they are the nation's pride and they aren't alone. तो इतनी तसल्ली तो उन्हें मिलनी चाहिए कि हाँ उनके साथ कुछ बुरा नहीं होगा, उनके साथ जस्टिस किया जाएगा. दैट इज द पॉइंट. So this last 2-3 lines becomes the point of the author. Now the wrestlers first flagged their complaint against Singh in January. Authorities were slow and cold in their response. It took the Supreme Court's intervention for Delhi police to file the first FIR. The complainants, frustrated at the attempts to wear them out means to tire them out, they began a protest at Jantar Mantar in Delhi in the last week of April. जनवरी के बाद एफआईआर होते होते काफी टाइम लग गया, फिर अप्रैल में उन्होंने प्रोटेस्ट चालू किया. तो यू कैन सी why the author has given all this, because he wants to make a point that all this has been dragging. Right? Always understand see, do not get into all this. I'm not saying that. Understand the author's thought process. Why is he using such words? Why is he mentioning those dates? He needs to make his point. And what was the point? That the things were being dragged. Right? Though opposition leaders, civil society actors, and a handful of sportspersons extended solidarity to the protests, government sat stiff and silent. Singh, a history sheeter with a record of being booked under Tada for alleged links with terrorist Dawood Ibrahim, runs an education empire and is politically resourceful. So now this is what they are saying about Singh, that he's politically resourceful. मतलब उसकी काफी पहचान है politics में. The Modi government and BJP leadership's response has been, the law is taking its course, so what is the problem? By doing so, they gloss over, shine, polish the fundamental reality of most sexual harassment cases where a person in authority is the accused. Surely the law will take its course, but a clear signal has to be sent upfront. Again comes the author's point. इट हैज टू बी सेंट अपफ्रंट, मतलब आगे होके एक सिग्नल देना चाहिए, आगे होके उनसे बात होनी चाहिए कि देखो तुम्हारे साथ सब सही होगा. So before the legal process starts, that the accused cannot and will not interfere with the due process. And that is why the government's silence is perceived as support for Singh. For his part, Singh's response to the allegations have ranged from denial to patriarchal condescension and conspiracy theories. He, his supporters have called for a Jan Chetna Maha rally in June. He has even got sadhus to call for a relook at POXO and its abuse. This is given just to show that to what level this person is going and what he is doing to save himself. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये है डिनायल मतलब मना कर देना, but he is not at all the culprit. And patriarchal condescension means like condescending is like very derogatory, and conspiracy theories मतलब उसके खिलाफ conspiracy चल रही है, साजिश. And all this while, no political heavyweight from the government has said a word of comfort or assurance that a new parliament was inaugurated with the prime minister underlining the dignity and justice while the nation's finest wrestlers were being dragged into police vans. Doesn't a good image make? Right? It doesn't go well with the image of India that is there, of a nation that will host the annual session of the IOC, where it hopes to pitch for a bid to host the games. Modi government has always underlined welfare and empowerment of the girl child as its priorities. So in the 9-year celebrations, a lot has been said about the success of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, initiatives like Khelo India, the image of the Prime Minister talking to the disappointed women's hockey team in Tokyo after the defeat was a powerful one, signaling the role of the government not just as a facilitator and enabler, but also as an ally during defeat and distress. So that is why the government silence is perplexing. तो समझ नहीं आ रहा है. Perplexing would mean like you're unable to understand. It's so confusing. And it should not need the IOC's note to break it. Right? That means the government should come up and assure those people who are there of justice. Author's point given. Government has to make a move. The government should do it. Why the government is silent, that is not understandable. Right? If you are able to come up with these few pointers, the work is done. So the main ideas will be needs to tell the wrestlers, देखो ये needs आ गया, और यही point था पूरे, उसने तीनों paragraphs के end में यही बोला था, that they are a nation's pride, of course, and justice will prevail. This was the first paragraph, and they aren't alone. So this is what the government has to do. It has to make a point to these people who are protesting there, right? That see, justice is going to be done to you. So at least this assurance is what is to be given. Until now, the government has been silent over the matter. So the author has two things to see. One, that the government should break its silence. Second, that the government should assure that yes, whatever is needful will be done for them. And this needs to be done. Okay? And therefore, the heading was to break the silence. Right? So let's see, we have these words. You can note down the words easy. Now, what I was telling you about one, the prefixes or the root words, whatever we come across. And also see, now I have used this word twice. to show that tion ending word would be one of the suffixes, right? Intervention will mainly be used as a noun and it is the method or a process. ठीक है, तो tion ending words आप कई बार कई सारे देख सकते हो, कई सारे तुम्हें पता भी होंगे, like evaporation, condensation, right, oxidization, application. जितने tion ending words है, they would be the nouns sort of, right? Intervened में inter word आ जाता है एक और as a prefix. Inter would mean in between, right? Intervention is what is done and intervene is what the action is. So this becomes an action and this becomes a noun, right? To gloss over means to polish. Patriarchal society, again, we have come up with the word arc, and arc means a rule, right? So patriarch the ruler ho jata hai. Patriarchal is related to AL. Another suffix will be AL. I am giving you this as a prefix here. AL is the other thing and TION is another suffix. अभी तक तीन दिए हैं तुम्हें. Arc हो जाता है एक again a root word here which would be standing for the ruler, and if it is archy it becomes a rule, right? So patriarch would be where the male people dominate. The male people would rule. तो मेल डोमिनेंट हो जाते हैं, दैट इज आर्क. पेट्रियार्कल फैमिलीज होती हैं. एल एंडिंग वर्ड मींस रिलेटेड टू. सो यू कैन जस्ट keep track of, you can write down these words please. Inter means in between, al means related to. ये इसका मीनिंग है. इसके एग्जाम्पल्स हो सकते हैं आसान बड़े, सोशल, पॉलिटिकल, कल्चरल, राइट, डिजिटल, seasonal, regional. So AL ending words आ जाएंगे. Related to the season would be seasonal. Related to the region is regional. Related to society is social. Related to the culture is cultural. In that way. So AL means related to. TION, I told you it is a process. You can understand it as a noun. Inter is in between. So it is intercollegiate, interschool, interdistrict, international. Intervene, interfere. तो इंटरवीन का मतलब होता है कि यू आर टेकिंग द रोल, योर टेकिंग द रोल ऑफ अ मीडिएटर, यू कैन से. इंटरवीन यानी बीच में आके दो लोगों के बीच का झगड़ा खत्म कर देना, उसे हैंडल करना, सेटल कर देना, दैट इज इंटरवीनिंग. सो इंटरवीन एंड इंटरवेंशन विल बी द सेम थिंग. Flagging is like it highlighted something. It could be reducing, it could be highlighting, right? Condescension में again I am giving you another prefix here, right? So con और descend में भी एक descend word भी आ जाता है यहाँ पे, और descend का मतलब होता है downfall, going down. तो descending order होता है. तो condescension और condescending, right? Condescending tone होती है, इसका मतलब होता है derogatory. Derogatory is like insulting. I'll give you a simple word here: insulting, humiliating, degrading. Right? Ally is a friend, associate. Perplexing. It was quite perplexing, confusing. ठीक है. Conspiracy, conspire करना यानी साजिश करना, to frame. साजिश करके किसी को फंसाना, उसको आप फ्रेम समवन कर सकते हो. कन्नाइविंग कर सकते हो. कन्नाइविंग मतलब किसी के खिलाफ कोई प्लान बनाना, करना ताकि उसको फंसा देना, दैट इज कन्नाइविंग. ठीक है. सो नाउ नोट द वर्ड्स, सी इफ यू हैव रिटन. इंटर इज बिटवीन, एक ये वर्ड आ गया. AL means related to, एक यहाँ है. TION ending word means process. This is again another suffix. Con is to join or come together. You can note down this and then come up with quite many words. Here also you can see connive and conspiracy, conspire. तो मिलके ही किसी के खिलाफ कुछ काम करना या साजिश रचना, that is called connive, right? तो connive, conspire is मिलके करना, तो ये joining वाला meaning आ जाता है उसमें. ठीक है. दूसरा एक वर्ड मिला तुम्हें टोन का, कंडिसेंडिंग टोन होती है. उसके साथ डेरोगेटरी टोन, इंसल्टिंग टोन, ह्यूमिलिएटिंग टोन, डिग्रेडिंग टोन. एक और वर्ड इसमें आप कर सकते हो, डेप्रिकेटिंग. Right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 words you have which can reflect a tone in a passage. Right? ये words समझते जाओ. So तुम्हारे पास 6 words हो गए tone के, वो लिख लेना. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 words you have this, and another word I have given you here, arc, which is ruler. Right? So you have enough for today. 5 prefixes, suffixes you've got, and 6 tone words you have. So this is how you need to extract as much as you can from the article. Is understanding was easy, but then you need to work on your words also. And do not be afraid if you come up with many words, difficult words. Fine. Initially, you will come up with difficult words, and that too many in number. But then gradually, you will reduce that number. So once you come back to only 4 or 5 words in the passage in an article, that means now you're comfortable with that particular newspaper. So kindly switch on to a higher level one. So you need to graduate to the Hindu, the Hindustan Times, Economic Times, Guardian, Telegraph. अब इतने सारी चीजें जो हमें पढ़नी है, right? And therefore I was saying that even if I'm doing this Indian Express right now, you should be able to read 2 more articles online, something from the Guardian or Telegraph, or start with the Hindu right now, and then in August we'll start with the Telegraph. That will be all for today, and thank you, and have a logical day ahead. Thank you.